You are watching Disney Lovin' Fam, and we are making the Minnie Mouse Big Red Bow headband today. Here are the materials, and I will put in the description what materials I did use. The bow size is going to be the size of a normal felt sheet that you can get at Hobby Lobby. And we have two because you of course have two different sides. And we are going to cut this and make them both very even because we're going to glue them together, so we want to make them even as possible. Then we're going to go ahead and round out the edges, and I did them again. We want them to be very equal, and so I put the two together so they can match when we glue them together. Now we're going to glue the sequin material onto the felt. So we're going to take the hot glue and we're going to line it around the outside, and then we're going to gently, because obviously the hot glue is hot glue, gently tap and make sure that we make it nice and tight without burning ourselves, and go around the edge until the sequin material is completely attached to the felt. Now when you glue around the curve, make sure you go slowly like this and make sure you gather, because you want to see that curve, and the only way to do that is to do that gather. So go ahead and finish then the rest, and then we're going to cut off the excess, so then that way when we glue the other piece to this one, it lays correctly. Once you finish this one, then you will do the other one exactly like this. Okay, so now we've got that. Now we need to kind of line it up, make sure they look like they're lining up correctly. Looks good. Kind of pinch it together, see how it looks. Looks like it's going to be perfect. The next step is adding the dots, and I really wanted them to look uniform, so I am going to create a stencil. I just got some cardstock, and I went and got Protractor, and I figured out exactly what size I wanted them, and that way they're all even, and I'm just going and putting them on the stencil like so, and then I kind of look at it to see, okay, do I like that? Do I want more? Do I want less? I cut out all the circles using an Exacto knife. Then I got a white paint pen, and I took the stencil and I put it over the sequin material, and I did the first one and went around and outlined all the circles because I wanted that perfect circle. And after I lined them, then I went back after taking the stencil off, and then I filled them in. But it still wasn't giving me that bright white color that I really wanted. It looked more dull than I was hoping it would. So I used some puff paint that you'll see in a minute. I did do a Minnie Mouse Big Red Bow scrunchie form too, and that tutorial I can link here as well. Here's that puff paint I was talking about. Just grabbed some from Hobby Lobby, and I went over every single circle. I thought it turned out way better. The circles were a lot brighter, as you can see right now. You just want to make sure that puff paint dries for several hours before you go back to it. We'll go ahead and stuff the bow, put some stuffing on each side, leave the space in the middle because that's where we're going to gather. And then we're going to make sure that yep, that looks like enough. So we'll go ahead and glue. Now that centerpiece that we used to finish off the bow look, I did just grab a piece of red sequin material and did put some dots on that with the puff paint just to make it all look uniform. And you'll see that in a minute. So let's go ahead and attach all the sides of the bow like so. And then here's that centerpiece. We're just going to tri-fold it, and then we're going to attach it to the headband. If you want to see how I did the headband, I have several other headband videos that I can attach here or link here that you can check out. so you can see how I did that. We're just gonna go ahead and attach that piece. So we'll put some glue on the headband in the middle, attach that piece, wrap it around. I do pull it tight just because I want it to really be secure and I want to give it that full bow look. Then we are going to go ahead and grab some hot glue. We're going to attach it right here and then pull tight and just hold for a little bit. Then that way you can pull back on the material, cut that off, and then re-put that back up. And just to make sure that the glue is holding or the material doesn't stick out at all, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a little bit more hot glue just for the very edges, like so, and then push that down so then that way it all looks uniform. And here is the DIY Minnie Mouse Big Red Polka Dot Bow Headband. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Click that like button and subscribe.